What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today it's time to get back into that contract talk. Now, this is more specifically for my local 26 brothers and sisters, but for my brothers and sisters across the land, it's for you too, because it's going to help you too understand what you're reading in your hand. It's your wireman's agreement, and it governs the floor, the absolute bottom of the barrel that you will ever work under. I want to give you a quick anecdote, because my life is an anecdote. When I was working in Miami and I moved to New York, I had an opportunity to switch careers. I could have become a public adjuster and worked with my brother-in-law, who was well off and doing well in life, doing hard work, but making very, 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 very good money. And this is in New York. And I called my old mentor down in Miami, Sergio. And I said, hey, Sergio, man, I got this in front of me. And, up here, I'm having a hard time getting into the IBEW. That's a whole nother story. We'll get into it in another video. And I got a decision to make, and I don't know which way to go. And he said, listen, what you have to understand is that your contract is the floor. It's the minimum that you'll ever make in life as a journeyman electrician in the IBEW. He said that it's not your ceiling, it's your floor. And if you think about it that way, then you'll be able to make as much money as you want to, if that's what you want to, but this is the minimum you'll ever make. And that kind of stood out to me, and it made me stay the course of keeping with being an electrician, keep on trying to get back into the IBEW, keep on trying to reestablish my union electrician career. Shout out to Sergio, man. Thanks for that. But anyway, we're getting into contract talk because this is the floor, and it's what we need to concern ourselves with for when the things go bad and you're not employee of the month, or work dries up, or the company goes out of business like Trulin did. If these things happen, you're going to want to have a very good floor to catch you. I get that there's folks that are all about, I'm going to run through the wall for this company, and I'm going to make sure that this company makes as much money as it can because I love this company. And then they become foremans and superstars in the company, and they're like, la, 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 la. But what happens when the company goes under and you got to go back to the hall to get a job? You got to have a good floor. All right, so what's on our floor in Article 4? Article 4, that's where we're going to pick up. So we covered Article 3 in the last several videos. So let's look at where Article 4 is. You go to your table of contents and you look it up, and it says Article 4 starts on page 19, and it covers working conditions. Hours. All right, working conditions -hours. So let's go check it out at page 19. Here we go. Let me put on my glasses because y'all know I'm blind and not used to glasses. All right, Article 4, page 19. All right, here we go. Under Article 4, working conditions /hours. Section 401 describes the employee procedure. What the heck is an employee procedure? It is agreed that all electrical equipment and materials furnished by the electrical contractor shall be handled from the point of delivery on the job site and shall be installed by employees covered by this agreement. Listen to those words carefully because it means something. The employee procedure states that it is agreed. That means this is not controversial. This is what we agreed to do. It is agreed that all electrical equipment and materials furnished by the electrical contractor shall be handled from the point of delivery on the job site. From the point of delivery on the job site. That means from when the electrical supply house drops it off, from the point that it's on that job, it doesn't move by anyone that is not covered by the contract. No outside laborers touching it and moving it. It doesn't move unless you're covered by the contract. This is according to the contract. So it shall be handled from the point of delivery on the job site and shall be installed by employees covered by this agreement. That means if you're not covered under the inside wireman's agreement, you cannot install materials that were furnished by the electrical contractor on the job site. And that's as covered by it. That's in our contract. I don't know if you knew that. A lot of folks don't know that. Hell, we just learned that together. 4.01. 4.02, quality of work. I always say that your work is the only thing that speaks for you in life. What you install is what speaks for you in life as an electrician. Nobody remembers your personality. They remember that you did a good job, that your work was craftsmanlike. They give out craftsmanship awards for these types of things. You should really care about how you install things. So section 4.02 describes the quality of work. So let's see. Workers shall install electrical work in the District of Columbia in full accord with rules and regulations of the District of Columbia Electrical Department within its jurisdiction. That means it's got to be up to code, and it's going to have to be approved by an inspector that has a license in the District of Columbia. All work installed outside the district shall be in full accord with the rules and regulations of the National Electrical Code. If you are a licensed electrician, you know all about the National Electrical Code, or any department or other entity having jurisdiction. All work shall be installed in accordance with contract specifications and in a safe and workmanlike manner. Safe. Key word, in a safe and workmanlike manner. Workmanlike manner means plumb, level, professional. Straps where they're supposed to be, couplings lined up the way they're supposed to be, all thread cut, unistrut, after you cut it, file the ends down. Workmanlike, quality, pay attention to the details. That's what that means. And safe, because why? Our contract governs labor, the electrical side, the IBEW Journeyman side, the rank and file side. And we need everyone to make it through their days, not only because we care about them and their lives, but also because it behooves the IBEW and behooves the contractors that these workers are safe at work and come home at the end of the day every day. You'll never hear a contractor tell you to do something unsafe. So there's no reason for you to feel like you need to do something unsafe. Safe is key. Safe and workmanlike. Any violation of this section shall be referred to the Labor Management Committee. We've already discussed what the Labor Management Committee is, and so we don't need to go back on that. We just need to remember that any violation of the contract can go back to the Labor Management Committee. So 402, quality of work, it discusses you got to put it in up to code, both in DC, and if you're not in DC, up to the National Electrical Code. You're going to have inspectors that inspect your work. You want to pass it on the first go around. Put it in up to code. Know your code. Know where to find the answers in your code. Number 2, safely. Don't get hurt on the job. Be safe. Think about these things before you do it. Don't just jump and run. Sometimes you'll get people that want to rush you and push you and grind you and try to make you go, go, go. Those are slave drivers, man. You got a union behind your back. You don't have to be go, go, go. You have to be safe. And if it's ever a question when they're going, hey, you got to hurry up and go, go, go. You sit there and you go, this is not safe. And raise the flag. This is not safe. I promise you, all of our NECA contractor partners will jump in and be like, yeah, safety first, homie. A lot of these cats will break down conditions because they want to shine bright. But safety is the most important thing, okay? Don't ever feel that. Don't ever succumb to that kind of pressure. Section 403 talks about faulty workmanship. So let's see what this says. If any work must be removed because of carelessness or faulty workmanship by a journeyman, the journeyman shall be required to make such corrections for which he or she is responsible on his or her own time and during regular working hours. Provided, however, that representatives of the Labor Management Committee have first made a finding that the work was deficient and that errors were not made upon instruction of the employer or the employer's representative. This, you cannot be punished to do rework if your foreman laid you out wrong. So what does this say to me? To me, this says keep a notebook and note down the things that you're told, whether that's on your phone, you keep notes, whether that's a physical notebook, but keep a documentation of your daily work life for yourself, for your personal protection. because you never know when someone's going to lay out and accuse you of doing something that you're not doing because of their own, I want to be a star. I had a foreman that when I was a 5th-year apprentice, he would lay out work on an entire floor, and then when it would come back that it was wrong, I would be moved somewhere else. Like I went to an FBI building to troubleshoot or to help pass a fire alarm final inspection, because on that job I was the fire alarm guy with another dude, and we did the whole system, so we had to be there to walk the inspector through that job. Now on the day that I went over there, the Trulin job where he laid out this 5th floor and it was all wrong, it was noted that it was all wrong, and instead of him saying, yeah, I messed that up, I'll get that straightened out, he pointed the finger right at me and blamed me for the entire screw up. Needless to say, it wasn't the first time on that job that some foreman decided to blame someone else for their screw ups. It happened often. So if it's your fault as the electrician installing it, they can force you to do it on your own, but it has to go through the labor management committee first. They can't just tell you to do it. If it's their fault, don't give in to that crap. You call your local union and you have them straighten it out. Either way, keep a notebook of what you're doing every day, what you're instructed to do, so that you have documented proof of what that foreman or that journeyman or whoever it is told you to do. And I think that that's where we're going to stop for today at 4.03. Faulty workmanship, huh? If your foreman lays you out wrong, don't you dare let that man give you the blame as a journeyman. If your journeyman lays you out that wrong and blames you as an apprentice, if it comes to you getting in trouble, you better raise your hand and speak up and point to the contract. We have protection. It's right here. Use it. My name is Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Please keep in mind the fight is not left and right. It's up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one. Get out there and reach one. And remember, there could be no union without you and I, front and center. Peace.